Alright, so I have my scene all good. What I would like to do is make a different skybox. So what I'm going to do is, again, go to my asset store. Gotta wait to connect to it. And I'm going to type in skybox and see what we get. And I'm going to click on free only because I'm super duper cheap. And we are going to see what we can find as far as skyboxes are concerned. And these all look like skyboxes. Let's see. This one's got a bunch of stars. Well, this one's got 5. That's a lot of stars. Yeah. We'll click on this one. And I will import. And wait for it to import. I'm going to go ahead and pause this. This little thing happens up here. I'm going to hit import. I'm going to pause again. Alright, so that imported. I'm going to go back to scene here. And it looks like this already came in. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Window, Lighting, and you see where it says Skybox and this little target symbol. And then we have all these options. So some of these are not actually skyboxes. This one is one, this is one, this is one. You can kind of see them here on the side. They're not particularly great. They're not really what I was hoping for, honestly. So I think I am going to, let's see what we got here. Yeah, that's something. Let's see, that's a bit much. We will go with, I guess I'm going to go with that one. That seems the least weird. But you might want to go through and, do something else. I wasn't really picking or planning on a night scene, but hey, there you go. Okay, so I got my skybox. Let me go ahead and exit out of that. So I got my skybox going on. You can see I got this whole little ocean and the whole thing. Now the other thing I want to do is I want to be able to play this, because what I'm gonna do is we're gonna texture this and stuff, but I do want the ability to kind of run through it just so I can see what we're dealing with. So let's click on assets here. I'm going to import another asset. So I'm going to go to assets, and we're going to import another package. I'm going to go to characters. Okay, so what characters is a collection that you download with Unity, but it's not automatically made into it. And basically inside of it, they have built-in nothing to import. All sets in the package. Oh, okay. I must have already done it. But basically what it does is it imports 3D characters and 2D characters. Basically, so it already has like a controller that's like a first-person controller. So you can drop it in there, and it's like you move around. You don't have to make any of the objects or any of the scripts that allow you to move through. It's already preset. Because when you look at a first-person game, it's kind of the same thing, right? You move forward, and you toggle, and you move around. So I'm going to go standard assets here, and I'm going to look at characters, and then first-person, and then we'll go to prefabs. And here's first-person controller, and I'm going to take this, and I'm going to drop it in here. And there it is right there. Okay, so I'm going to take this and bring it over here, and I will pop it up here, and it is like giganticus. So let's see. There it is. Okay, so there it is right there, and I'm just going to drop it a little bit. I want to make sure it's above the ground. Let's hit F to frame. Okay. And now, if I look at game, you can see this is the view of the player. And if I hit play, I can now use my, let's hope it don't crash. Okay. Drops a little bit, and then I can use my WSD. I hit spacebar for jump, and I can move around. And you can see, basically, we can move around our game here. Okay, so look at this right now. It feels a little bit bumpy. So this is something I probably would want to change, or maybe not. You can see my water is like crazy out there. So, but that's okay. We'll roll with it. Okay, so I got this going on. That water is crazy. Okay, so, God, don't go in the water. It will destroy you. Okay, so, I got this whole little scene going on, and that looks fine. Yay! Okay, so I'll hit escape, which will allow the cursor to be viewed, and I'll turn this off. Okay. let's go back to the scene. All right, so that looks fine. We got this kind of going on, and that's okay. Next thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and add some lighting. So I'm gonna go window, and we'll go to, actually I'm gonna go to game object, light, and so generally speaking, there are different types of lights, and normally when you're in 3D, they try to replicate the practical lights that exist in the real world, right? So different types of lights have different ways of emitting light. Now, when you're outside, which is what we're creating, the most close to that would be a directional light. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and choose directional light. Here it is made right here. And I'm going to take it and we will pull it over. And I'm going to go down here and you see shadows. We'll go ahead and do soft shadows. And that is fine. Let's see, leave the intensity like that. I'm going to do, since I'm kind of in a, I'm going to do a little bit of a more of a cool blue. Let's see what the game looks like. Oof, that is not good. So we're going to take this down. Let's go back to game. So really, the game is probably our best bet to see. Oh, it doesn't do like that. Okay, it's fine. All right. So just kind of a default light. Right now our thing is kind of being lit by the skybox. That's why when we went to the window, we did the, where is it, lighting. It was underneath the skybox. The skybox is kind of lighting it anyway, but this is just like an extra thing in order to do shadowing. Okay, great. So now what I want to do is I'm going to further work on my terrain here. So I'm going to go terrain. And we already did our sculpting. I'm going to go to my painting here, okay? So I'm going to do is I'm going to edit texture, I'm going to add another texture. Let's select, and then I'm going to look to see what else I have over here that looks good. So let's see, grassy rock albedo. So that looks like that. We'll select that, and let's see if there's something else that looks like that. So I'm going to look at that and do the and there is nothing that really looks, so click none. Select, I'm at none. Go to the top here, none. Okay, and add. And so now when I paint this, what you're going to see, I'm going to select over here, and we're going to go to the brush size, and I can paint this on here. Let's see, brush size, opacity, target strength. Alright, so I'm going to take the target strength a little bit larger. Alright, so basically it'll allow me to paint this onto this here. Okay, so, and as you can see, this would take quite a bit of time, and I don't feel like wasting 2 tons of time on this, but yay. Okay, I'm just going to do this real quick. Alright. Alright, so yada yada yada. I'm doing an amazing job. I'm so good at painting. Hire me now. Okay. Edit textures. And I'll add another texture. Let's select. And this time I'm going to choose, let's say, I don't know. We'll say none of those. We'll just exit out of that. So what you can do is you can go on to the asset store and type in, like, you know, textures, grass texture, something like that, and utilize that in order to grab more. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and, so imagine you would add another texture, you would paint it on there. The brush size is the size of the brush, obviously. The opacity is the opacity. The target strength means that what the max is that it's allowed to be. Okay. So if I turn this below a certain number, it will never go above that. Okay. Don't worry about this noise brush. That's I only use that for the sculpting purposes. And there's various different brush alphas you can use as well. Okay, in here. But all right. So what I'm going to do is go to the trees here, and we're going to hit edit trees, and I'm going to add a tree. And I'm going to hit the little option box here, and we are going to look for a tree and see if I have a tree. Palm desktop. conifer desktop, broadleaf desktop. Let's do broadleaf desktop and hit add. And there we go. Okay. So again, you can go online. I'm going to undo that. Go to the asset store and look up trees. Okay. I'm going to do this. So now what I can do is do the brush size, which is brush size. Honestly, keep it small. I would do it like this. This is normally do really super small, like maybe just a little bit bigger. Smaller than that. Come on. Something like this. And then I do tree density. I make it really less, a really lot small. Because that way what I'm going to do is I'm going to put specifically the trees where I want them. Instead of letting it randomly choose, I'll just click, 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 click. And it gives me more control. Tree height, right now it's on random, and this is the range. Left with the height, which just means that, like, depending on how tall it is how wide it is. That's all fine. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to click and put the trees where I would like them. Okay, so just imagine that I was doing a really good job and being real particular with it, and you should be. I'm just going to click a whole bunch here, and you can see I'm doing an amazing job of randomly placing trees. Okay, there we go. All right, and there's a bunch of different trees to choose from, but there you go. Okay, so we have trees there. Now the other option is paint detail. So this allows you to actually, when you select this, paint things besides trees, like rocks and gravel and bushes and grass. Okay, so we can click on edit details and we can edit. It'll say grass or detail. We'll do edit grass. Select this, and we should have some sort of grass. I'm looking for something that looks like grass over here, and I'm not seeing grass. Here we go. We'll do number 2. There we go. And we'll hit add. And basically what that's going to do is add grass. And let's see. Brush settings, opacity. Put this to 100. Target strength is 0. Sorry. There we go. You can see there it is right there. Honestly, I don't use this because the thing is, like, in order to have enough grass to like hit everything, you have to be really high. So I'm going to go really low and just brush it across. And you see I have like kind of that. I'm going to go even lower than that. Let's start at 0.01 and see what 0.025. Oh, see, it doesn't even like that. Let's do 0.1. It will accept that, but see, that's so dense. See, to me, that seems too much. Let's try opacity. All right, let's take opacity down a whole bunch. And then we'll make the brush size really big. And we'll just kind of brush real quickly. And that way, there's a bunch of grass within this, but not too crazy. Okay, that way there's a little bit, the grass can kind of bog it down. We can do edit details, and I can edit a detail mesh. Go up here, and then a lot of times there will be something like rocks or something of that sort. I don't really have any in here, but you can look it up in your, let's just exit out of that. You can look it up in the asset store and find that sort of thing as well. Good, so let's see, boop, 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 doop. And I think we're pretty okay. So I'm going to play, and we should have, let's see, and now you can see, if I go through, let's jump, you can see I have my shadow that's being cast from my, my light, and we have our background, and we have grass, and we have the whole 9 yards here. All right, so I would suggest obviously doing a little bit better of a job than I did, but at least we have all the pieces here. And there you go. Okay, so this is a basic, real short introduction to the Unity terrain that's built inside of Unity that you can create your own stuff. Okay, that's it. All right. Good luck.